Salvete omnes, nomen mihi est canicus. Thank you for joining me for this episode of the DDO free-to-play experiment. I have come back to my primary character, Crixaflammus. This is a wizard eldritch knight, and we have a little bit of housekeeping to do. It's been a few days since I've played this character. Got some platinum, that's handy. Got enough XP to level up soon. We'll definitely level up after the Collaborator, which will be running soon. So my enhancements early on are pretty straightforward. I go up through improve shield, although I'll need to come over here and do some some toughness before I get up to that. But that's goal number one, and then after that I'll start making decisions. So I'm going to run the Collaborator on normal and then decide whether or not I'm going to start stepping up and doing whether I'm going to start doing quests on hard and elite. So my ultimate goal for this character is to see what it's like to level up, what it's like to get to 20, if not 30, to reincarnate, and have a good to racial completionist, right? I mean, and heroic completionist, and maybe even epic completionist, to try and finish the game for whatever that means. Dungeons and Dragons Online is it's like every game, really, and especially every MMO, where you get to, quote unquote, the end, and then what do? And in my mind, I play an awful lot of Minecraft, specifically, and I'll try to get too in the weeds on this one, but specifically I play a conversion mod called Better Than Wolves. But this still applies to Minecraft in general. Alright, so you play Minecraft and you get to the end. Which in Minecraft is like a thing. Like literally you get to the end, which is a place that you can go. And you beat the Ender Dragon. Now what? What do? Now, different people have different goals and different things that they find fun, and all kinds of, everybody is, their own unique butterfly, which is fine. I said that sarcastically, but I'm not being critical of it. And some people play Minecraft and they just love building things, and it's awesome, and they build, and then they build something else, and then they build something other than that, and then they tear that down, and then, whatever, right? Other people, play other kinds of mods that may or may not offer incentives to do or not do other things. But at some point, you ask yourself, okay, well, what am I doing in this game? What's the point? I got to the end. But the game's still going, right? It's not like Super Mario Brothers where you know, you get to the end and you won, and that's it, right? And then you can start over or whatever, but like that's it. Like you won, and you could never play the game again, and you won, right? I, you know, have played a lot of Final Fantasy games. The only one I've finished is Final Fantasy 1. I beat it. Like I beat the game, and that's it. Well, DDO, kind of like Minecraft, when you get to level 30, there's stuff to play. Like there's content that's designed for people of that level. And the level cap is going to be going on up soon and blah, blah, blah. But it's really just kicking the problem down the road. So when does it stop? And DDO actually comes up with a really interesting solution to that, which is reincarnation. I get to level 30 or maybe level 20, depends on, there's lots of different options. But I get to level 20 or level 30. I play what I want to play. I have fun. And then I can go and take my character, take Crixaflammus, and start over. But start over just a little bit more powerful. I'll get a few extra points to build my character and have slightly higher stats. I'll have access to feats and passive abilities that make my character a little stronger. Now, to compensate for that, it will be more difficult to level up, and that is something that will be an interesting test. However, what I mean by that, let me be more clear. It will be an interesting test to see what can I do. Do I want the spell points or the axe? I'm going to go with spell points. I'll find another axe or something later. So it's like something on the order of 50% or 100% more XP. I can't remember. It's a lot more XP each level to level up after you reincarnate, to compensate for having done it again and whatever. But if I only have the content that's available, like that I have available to me right now, like at this point I own no content other than what's free to play. Now I believe on my reincarnation I'll be able to start quests on hard, which will be helpful. And then when I reincarnate again, I'll be able to start on elite. But is that enough? Now, thankfully, by the time I get to the end, I will have more content to play. And so we have a long time before we get there. So I would like your opinion. Right now, Crixaflammus is not going to play any content that is not available free to play on its own. Right? So content that I purchase with DDO points, he's not going to play unless I find that content is actually needed in order to level up. Other characters, we can see, what it's like to level up with, certain kinds of content and which content is the most helpful for filling in whatever gaps may exist at certain levels, right? So as I'm playing Crixaflammus, I may identify, well, levels 6 to 8, there's a hole there. There's not much, or whatever it is, right? I'm just making stuff up, so don't write me nasty comments about how there's plenty of content at those levels. But we may identify some of those holes, and then we can use that information to identify which quest packs would be most beneficial to purchase to fill in those gaps to make your leveling life that much better. So that's going to be kind of the way that I go with Crixaflammus for now. And I'm not saying that after my 5th life he won't play any new content, but as it stands now, we're going to see, what it's like to not do that. So characters like Cantorius, or even what is it, Pugiatius, Pugiator, whatever his name was, the Dark Blade, the Paladin, like those characters, like we can do experiments with the newer content. But for Crixaflammus, like, can you hit level cap? Can I get to 30? Now, one big problem is without having purchased any content, I'm not going to have access to Epic Destinies. And I know they're redoing Epic Destinies, but so far I haven't heard that Update 51 is going to include making Epic Destinies open to everybody. So not having access to Epic Destinies... Oh, and while I'm yapping, let me get this done. So unless they change access to Epic Destinies to be free to play, I won't have access to those Epic Destinies. So when I get close to 20, we'll have to evaluate the situation and see where things stand. Hopefully they'll make a change there, but that's probably not going to happen. So we'll see how that goes. Now, I realize that some people may be watching this playlist and not necessarily realize that there's a large, well, not large, but it's been a couple of days of where I've been playing other characters, just a small amount, really just the first 3 quests after the grotto, in order to earn the 5 favor and get the 50 DDO points. So when I started Crixaflammus, I had 0 DDO points. I believe I showed that on camera. And now I have 400. So between episode, I think 4 and this episode, there's a whole bunch of, well, not a whole bunch. It's actually 28. No. 35 episodes of content where I created 7 other characters, 1 on each server, and earned those DDO points so that I have a base to purchase things from. And you might have been watching all that. This is old news, but I do know that I'm going to be putting this in its own playlist for Crixaflammus, so that you may not have seen that. But going forward, I'm going to be focusing Crixaflammus. What I'm going to be trying to see is what's possible for getting a character that plays those reincarnations, and was it like, can you have a main character that really, you know, is not competitive, but holds its own with everybody else, and how long does that take, and can you do that just with free content? So that's kind of what we're going to be doing. Also, I sort of developed, kind of added on to my sign off, and so in addition to saying Walete, which is goodbye everyone, I have started signing off with Si Waletis, if all of you are well. Ego Walio, I am well. And so, gratias vobis ago. Thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe. Leave me a comment. Let me know what you think about my plans for Crixaflammus. And si Waletis, ego Waleo, Walete.